I'm catching up with some of these questions here. So, okay. Hi, welcome to our weekly ambition call.
I think we've worked out, at least substantially worked out the audio video issues, and we changed the format a little bit. The reason that we actually changed the software and changed the format a little bit is to make this more of a two-way experience. So we would love to have you ask questions as we go through today's agenda, and we may or may not go back. We'll never go back to the old software, but we might go back to the 100% question and answer format. So if you can see the screen, we put up our new LandPin logo. I'm sure you know all about that. And then I wanted to talk about some feedback that I got all week from doing consulting calls and speaking with members on email and things like that. So if you can see the screen, the first point on today's agenda is this $100 an acre. All of you who have the program and have gone through it and are sending mail out, there's been a couple of comments. I just want to sort of demystify this $100 an acre scenario. So it's not 100% appropriate by any stretch to send out offers that are $100 an acre, let's say in the Midwestern states or the Deep South. You need to do a little bit of homework to try to really understand where buying property for about half of its wholesale value is. So I've spoken in depth with a couple of members who had the perception that sending $100 an acre for a property, let's say, like I said, the Midwest is really going to work. And you can't expect that to work. It really, I use it as an example, and we do it all the time still, west of the Mississippi and some of the desert states.
Mm-hmm.
So that's point number one. If anybody has any questions about that or
I'm going to literally raise my hand. Okay, let me pause right here. In case you guys didn't notice a couple cool things about this new format. You can record on your own computer, which is really, really awesome. So if you want to record it, not wait for it to be processed and uploaded and accessible later, you can be recording it right now. There's a feature on there. You can also, all the little chat things, you can save all the chats automatically on your computer. It's really, really cool. And you can raise your hand and we can see it if you have something you want to say or add. But
yeah.
I don't know if we want to use that yet. Right now, we're all used to the chat box. It works really great, but it's just a nice little feature. So I was making a comment because I am really raising my hand. So I was just going to say, in Jill's way of what Jack is saying, is just don't get hung up on the $100 an acre. That's what keeps happening. We hear a lot of people that are saying, but I should always offer that, right? No, you really shouldn't. Do your homework. You're going to skew it up. There might be properties you buy less for $100 an acre because you're buying 1,000 properties, or are you buying multiple properties at once, and it might work out different, or the size is different. It's not set in stone, and we just keep hearing people saying, but I should spend $100 an acre, right? We're like, no, not there. So that's the gist of it. Thank you.
Good, perfect.
Thank
well
you.
Said, Jill.
Thanks.
I like the Jill way.
Thank you. So
if you have any questions, we'll catch it. If you have any questions at all, type them in and we'll take them as they go. Or if you have any questions about anything. Right?
Yeah. Do you want to get through your agenda and then we'll do the Q&A?
Sure.
How do you want to do this? Okay.
The assessed value, it's number 2 on the agenda. The assessed value, the actual dollar amount, has nothing to do with the offer amount. And I really want, because that's come up several times in the last 2 weeks. The assessed value is only used as a gauge, and I'm going to explain it in a spreadsheet here. At the request of Jill, it will be brief. And that's not working. All right, you should be able to see that.
Got it.
The assessed value is really a gauge about you use the assessed value for the top of using the top of In the universe of properties, let's just use it like, use the example like in, in the Excel spreadsheet that you can see, in the universe of 5-acre properties in any given county, the assessed value, they have an assessed value, that they have a top value and a bottom value. What I wanted to try to very clearly convey is that it might be $1 million top assessed value, or it might be 100,000 like it is in the spreadsheet. What you're kind of hunting for that high yield, low dollar rural land acquisition is the bottom 20%. So it's caused, I think, maybe now more problems than good.
How about the people that we know that have totally ignored this, mailed thousands of mailers and done very well?
Yeah. So that's exactly really why I brought this up. If you forget about the 20% bottom value, and you, in the universe of 5-acre properties in any given county, send it out. Just send them out, and you're going to deal with probably a higher degree of flack or callback or hate, but you're going to buy some seriously great properties.
Yeah.
So that 20% value, if you're brand new or relatively new at this, forget about it.
Mm-hmm. That was really the point we wanted to make, is that we've been hearing people like those two things so far, the $100 an acre and the 20% thing. They're spending so much time and they're hung up on those details that it's slowing them down from just getting some mailers out and buying some property. So that's what we want you to do. Don't get hung up. If you're not a pro at that bottom 20% thing, you can not be a pro, but know to cap when you're going and downloading the data. Put in a cap that makes sense to you and just mail all those people.
Exactly.
Thank you. That's why we're a team.
All right. So a lot of people have asked about e-tax sale lists and taxsalelists.com. So since we created the program, I talk about taxsalelists.com all the time. Well, they're no longer with us. And e-tax sale lists or e-tax sale or exactly what the .coms are, we're putting together something, and we'll have it up on our website, on the Land Academy website, that you can use in lieu of that, because we're not supposed to be really mailing just back tax properties anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the process, literally as we speak, to put that up on the website so you can dig through county by county and kind of see a gauge. It's all historical data anyway. It doesn't change all the time. It's not a live feed. Those are just resources to go check, one of those points. So we'll put together, and we are putting something together right now where you can go check and see if your county's on the radar as far as that goes. But let me repeat, this is a takeaway. We don't ever in this group just mail people with back tax property. And I think that was causing some confusion. So I hope that clears it up.
Well, I was from my end, the people that I talked to, they were digging too deep into that data and signing up for the subscription to really analyze the data. We don't need to do that much, because what we're really looking for is just a number, like, oh, look at that county that has a large number of properties in that situation versus this county. Okay, that's a gauge to go to that county. That's it. That's your check. Move on.
Exactly.
So
well said.
Thank you.
And then the omnipresent hate. So I spoke with somebody really recently, and they said, look, my goal is if I send a perfect mailer out, first of all, there's no such thing. But if I send I really succeed at the mailer, I should get no hate. I should get nobody calling me back, and I have to just,
That means you over-offered.
The hate's part of this business. And there's been a couple people since we started this that just couldn't take it at all. Not even one bad, negative phone call. So if the less amount, this person had the perception that the less amount of hate that you get, the better you're doing at the quality of the mail you're sending out. And I'm here to tell you, the hate has nothing to do with it. If you get a lot of hate, chances are you're going to buy a lot of good property. And that's the takeaway from this. So don't be afraid of the hate. Laugh at it like we do.
Oh yeah, I make up all kinds of funny stuff like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody's getting fired around here. Dream it up.
Yeah.
And they don't know, and they're okay if you handle it okay."
And then finally, on this note, Jill and I came up with a little saying together recently, because people were asking, I mailed this county and it just didn't go the way I wanted, or I mailed this county and it went incredibly well. It can't possibly be that the next time, right? Here's my point. a seller or an owner's need for cash, a sudden need for cash, due to some life event, that's never going to go out of style. That's what we're looking for. We talk about it in the podcast all the time. So just bear that in mind. When you send all this mail out, you're not looking for the perfect piece of property. Those are in there all the way already because of the way you scrub the data.
Right.
You're looking for anybody that received any of those letters because you priced them. They're going to be a good deal anyway. You're looking for that situation where they just want to get out of the thing fast.
Exactly.
And you're facilitating that. So bear that in mind.
You said it was so good. Jack came up with a quote the other day. He goes, look, I overheard a call and he said, look, the chance of something happening in someone's world and them needing some cash in the next 7 days will never go out of style.
Yeah.
Like done. I wrote that down. I'm like, that was brilliant. And that's true.
It'll always happen.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Now I got my stuff out of the way.
Okay, good. All right. I'm going to scroll back. You're so funny. I'm going to scroll back to the top here, and I'm going to try to start at the top and kind of catch up with some of the questions here. So bear with me.
HOA.
Luke was asking, yes, how do you verify that a property has no HOA or POA on it?
Well, the first thing I do is I go to Google and I type the name of the subdivision and see what comes up. And you're going to know pretty quickly if there's an HOA or a POA. It pops up all over the place. Either the website that the HOA has or POA has. And if it does pop up, give them a call and ask them everything before you do the deal. You'd be shocked at how there's very, very, very few. Of all the deals we've ever done, I bet there's been an HOA or a POA involved in 1%.
Right. Exactly.
So depending on how you feel about it, could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Thank you.
You've done well in both. Get the facts, though. That's what you want to know. To directly answer your question, if you really want to know, call the recorder. The county recorder will tell you if there's an HOA associated with the property, if they're more than a month old. I mean, more than a month old working at that job they have. Not a, you know what I mean.
Like, where are you going with that one?
There seems to be young people who don't know much in the recorder position.
Oh, sometimes. Okay. That happens often. There seems to be a high turnover.
You know what's interesting about this format is you can actually see Jill's disgust with the stuff.
You can see me going, what? So, yeah. What was that? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Michael asks, question. How far do you come off your offer? Oh, this is funny.
Oh.
You know what, Michael? This is good because this is on our list right now too. Like I want to strangle some people. How far do you come off your offer when talking with a seller who wants more than the offer on the letter, like 10 to 20%? You know what, Michael? We just talked about that. And if you start down that negotiation path, you're stuck in that negotiation thing. You're better off saying, here's my offer. And if you really feel good about your offer, you just say, this is my offer. And if they pass, that's up to them. And if they're going to pass for 10 or 20%, hey, that's their deal. Have a nice day. I've got plenty of other people, in line. And if you change your mind, let me know. So that's, it's easy to get into that little thinking, oh, I should, that's all they want is $100 more or whatever it is. I should do it. Stop. Don't negotiate. Move on.
That's the theme of our podcast. Is if you guys are listening to our show, negotiation, in my opinion, and it's so hard to wrap your head around this because that's what everybody's done up until, that's what we've all learned. Try to get a great deal. Try to get as much for the property when you sell it. Try to get it cheap as property when you buy it. What you're doing is really wasting time. That's why we have if you're doing everything perfectly, you're sending the offers out, they're getting signed and they're coming back and you do those deals. If and on the same thing on the sell side, if it's posted and you can click out the credit cards, that's how that works. So it's very, very inefficient to negotiate and it's very hard to really take seriously because you have to undo what we've learned so far. For us, negotiation is bad. I think there's some people in this group that really make it work for them.
I have to share something because I know this person's not on this call. So, because this person, because they were thinking about joining our group. I'll be honest. I was talking to a guy yesterday. I'm not sure I want him in our group.
I'm sure. I know you don't.
I really don't want this person. I'll tell you, that was the kind of the chat. I was like, this is
the first time. I think said, no. You're not getting in.
this guy rubbed me the wrong way. One of the things he said was, well, come on, you're a negotiator. I'm a negotiator. And I went, stop right there. This is not a negotiation. You're either in or you're out. I'm not going to make up special situation and special prices or special situation. That's not cool. I have a solid, big, established group of really good, smart people.
Yeah.
And we're not messing around.
Right.
That's pretty much what I said. But I'm not negotiating. So it was kind of funny.
This is Jill mad.
Yeah, that was.
Right now, that's as bad as it gets.
Oh, it was funny.
It's a little worse when I get upset.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So Robert Johnson asks, he would like, this is a good little background. What did we do when we are to adjust our business when the market did a downturn in 07, 08?
So what did we do? We crawled under a rock and cried for a while.
Thank goodness we owned everything.
We had tons and tons and tons of property that we owned free and clear, like we do with everything. And, the real problem that we had back then, and I'm glad you asked this question. We answer it like probably once a month. We made the chink in our armor back then was our single venue for selling, and that was eBay. And we had a static website. We never developed the website. We did a lot of the stuff wrong. In fact, we undid it, and we did okay during those years. Only because of what Jill just said. We had tons and tons of property that we owned free and clear, and liquidated it, and continued to buy property on a much lower scale. So, hey, they can see purchase prices were here, and sale prices were here, and then purchase prices were here, and sales prices were here. So that's just kind of what happened. And we had to earn the sale versus just auctioning it off. So it required some huge adjustments. We made a heck of a lot less money, but we got through it.
Exactly.
There's several companies that never got through it because they had a lot of leverage. One of the reasons that you all joined this group is because you're not interested in leveraging the heck out of stuff and trying to make that work or borrowing other people's money or any of that. We're here to pay cash, buy cash, sell for cash, have lots of safety nets, so to speak.
Exactly. Yes.
It happened, for the record, the residential housing happened in 7 and 8. We had killer years those years. For whatever reason, there was a lag, probably almost a 3 or 4 year lag. So it happened in like 10, 11 for us.
Right. Exactly.
Which was worse because it made us feel invincible. Oh, our model can sustain all of this. That's
exactly.
What I thought.
Yeah. We're not affected. Yeah. Whoops, here it comes. Yep. Matt Peterson asks, I just purchased 2 13-acre properties from different sellers for about $1,800 each. Nice. They're worth $10,000. So I should be able to sell quickly for $7,000 to $8,000 each. Hello. Yes. Or so. I didn't use a title company to purchase them. Yeah, they're $1,800. I get it. Would you suggest I go through a title company to sell them? Me personally, I would leave that up to the buyer.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And then if they do, that's fine. But I personally also would make them pay for it. So if they say, look, I love the property, love to buy it on through a title agent, you can say that's fantastic, but it costs $1,000. And the way that these are priced, and now if you'd like to start to negotiate with me, we can end it right now.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I would do, Matt, is I would bundle them up. That if someone, like if one person comes along and they want to buy the one, I would say, look, I'll give you, if you're selling them for $7 each, I might give you both for $6 each. All right, how about 2 for $12? Make it a good deal, because you're doing one deed, getting rid of them. You way more than doubled your money. I think that would be okay. So cool. All right. Thank you, Michael. Michael said, love the podcast. Bigger is better. Let's one second here. David said, I need a good, quiet title company.
Don't we all? The best quiet title company. You're looking at the best quiet title company right in the mirror. That's not the best answer because there's a lot of paperwork involved and all that. But if you learn how to it's essentially filing. It's almost statutory in every state. So if you asked, I think David's in Colorado, call the recorder. They'll give you a couple of names of attorneys and things. But in the end, if you're going to do it over and over and over again, you need to learn how to do it yourself. And it's like paralegals tend to be good at it because any attorney you call has never really done it themselves. They hire it out to a paralegal. Maybe put an ad in Craigslist. Find somebody.
Right. It's a good question.
Once you do it one time, it's so simple.
Katrina asks, so if it's not $100 per acre, then what type of research should we do to determine the offer price? Great question.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I covered that in the CFO cash flow from land program. You want to be about 20 to 40% below the lowest for sale property in that area as a gauge. That's not a hard and fast rule. But when you post your property out on the internet, you definitely want to be the lowest. You want the lowest priced, and you want to be, if possible, half of the next priced property. That's just a double insurance policy that you're going to sell it
immediately.
Crazy fast. Yeah.
Exactly. So what he's saying is, Katrina, say you're looking at all the 5 acres in XYZ County. This is not just one resource would be, LandPin. LandPin's a resource, and LandWatch is a resource. There's Land and Farm. Maybe go on all those 3 sites. Let's just say find the next closest similar property, and one's selling for 8,000, one's for 6,000, one's for 9,000. So all right, 7,000 is kind of the gauge. So you want to come in below that. So you need to buy it even lower than that. You could double your money. So maybe you're going to buy it for 2,000 to sell it for 5. So you're well below everybody else. So and then you got to kind of work your math backwards, going, all right, now how much is that per acre?
That's right.
You can figure that out.
I'm going to read a note that I got from about a 6-month-old member.
Okay.
It was a thank you note. He said, I'm nearly done with getting 591 acres bought for $600,000. I have comps from last year for an easy $900,000. That's from 123 letters sent out. So he completely and entirely, as he should have, discarded $100 an acre. That was an acre concept.
Yeah.
That ends up being $100,000 an acre. His acquisition price and his sales price is double or triple of that. So the cash flow from land program is not an if-then statement. All right. It's meant to expose you to what is possible.
Yes.
And some people use it in all they do is $100 an acre in desert counties, and it works great. Somebody asked me recently, well, which counties does this work in and which counties doesn't? And my answer is it works in every single county. Every single county in this country, this concept works. And Jill and I have done it. But you have to, the variable is pricing. It's not hate or any of these other things. It's all pricing. And how do you get the pricing? It takes a lot of research and mostly taking a look at completed sales and for sale property.
Exactly. Hi, Bay. Bay says, hi, Jack and Jill. It's good to see you in the meeting. I'm wondering if I option to sell a property, should I just list the APN numbers on my posting? Some buyers seem very savvy to search parcel and owner information. I think you're saying should I hold back some information on it because you think someone's going to come along and I haven't had that. What do you?
Oh, I haven't either. But
Okay.
I mean, I haven't personally because it's been a while since I specifically did all the details in an acquisition. But what you're asking is, okay, I posted an option property, the APN's there, and then the potential purchaser looks it up in the internet and says, well, Jack Smith owns this thing. You don't own it. What are you trying to pull? I always explain to them that it takes a tremendous amount of time in nearly all counties for the stuff to get recorded. There's a lag. But in the spirit of never lying, you never want to lie. You can say, yeah, I own equitable title in this property. I sign an agreement with the seller, and I can control whether or not this property gets purchased or sold for the next 90 days. Some version of that is, and it's all true. You did, you purchased or they agreed to give you equitable title for, let's say, 30, 60, 90 days. And the deal's all going to get done. Everybody's going to get done.
Perfect.
Some people can't handle that. And that's one of the reasons Jill and I really concentrate on dealing with wholesale type buyers that understand the business, understand real estate, and all of that.
our people, there's no explaining at all.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, it never comes up.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, do you see land pin being really more of a wholesale
Yeah.
thing? Okay, good.
Heck yeah.
So in that environment, that means our group, everyone here, will get to deal with the same kind of buyers we do, which is a dream.
We're going to put land pins going through it. You're going to see huge positive changes. There'll be a sash on your username that says you're a Land Academy member. And then we'll explain what that is in a great detail about how our prices are always the lowest. And then at some point, we're going to open it up to other people the way LandWatch is open up and charge them a lot. Land Academy people will never get charged for that. So we're trying to brand you as you're part of the group and you're always cheapest and best.
Mm-hmm.
Like a co-trust thing,
Exactly. Like we know who those people are. We don't know who that is.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have the control to make our stuff featured all the time too.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. John asked, this is funny because you were talking about this today. Is there a process you must follow to subdivide land in West Texas, specifically Hudspeth County? Are you guys familiar with that? And is it a long process?
Great question. If you listen to the show at all, I love subdividing, and Texas is a great place to subdivide. Every county has their own specific rules. So you really need to go into, probably start with planning and zoning and ask them what the process is. We have members in our group who are generations deep at subdividing property very effectively. It's their whole living. That's what they do. So I don't have the exact answers about Hudspeth County. I have never split anything in Hudspeth County. I have split properties in Texas and in Nevada and in Arizona.
Exactly.
It all starts with planning and zoning. And I would, please don't let that in any way discourage you. I hope subdividing becomes your little special niche. It's crazy profitable.
Exactly.
I mean, think of that. This is just an example. You buy a 40-acre property for $4,000 in Texas, and you subdivide it into 41-acre properties that you sell for $1,000 each. I'm grossly oversimplifying.
Right.
So now you spent $4,000 to make $40,000 in, let's say, 60 to 90 days.
Exactly.
Our regular model is crazy enough. That's nuts.
Exactly. Good questions. I love it, Albert. Albert says the hate makes me laugh. I had a lady threaten to report me to the police this week. What's really funny, I wonder if you said, this is what I do for a living, or, by the way, or your side gig. It's funny.
I've sat in police stations before over this. And sat there and said, and we all had a good
true.
No one's breaking the law. I'm here because out of respect, but
there was one time it was really funny. They didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah,
that was really funny. Oh my gosh. Nick says, I need more hate. My mailer was sent out Friday. All right, I got my first call Tuesday, sent myself a letter, received it today.
That's good.
Nice. Oh, wait, it went out Friday and you already got it today, Thursday. Nice.
Did you, Nick, can you type in if you went through LetterStream?
I haven't heard from anyone else so far. I've read enough forum posts and listened to many Cash Flow from Land podcasts to know I should be patient, but I'm ready to buy properties yesterday. Good. Well, let me scroll down and see if
yes. Great.
Okay, good.
All right. I have to stop here and say this because we constantly try to improve this. Improve Land Academy. It won't stop.
Yeah.
So ITI, we were getting reports back at 3 weeks to a month when the mailers came back. And so now with David, the owner of LetterStream, he says it goes out that day. So what an improvement. See how much more mail you can send out?
I know.
You don't have to, there's not 12 cycles anymore per year. There's like 40 or 50.
Exactly.
42.
It's so 52. Good. Okay. What did somebody say? Oh, Matt says, just wait, they'll come. Yeah. I mispriced my mail. This is from Matt Peterson. I mispriced my mailer by about a quarter of what I should have offered and still got deals. Took 3 weeks after the mailer went out, but I'm closing the properties right now. There you go. It'll happen. It's sometimes too, it's like the calm before the storm. Just wait. In a few more days, you're not going to be able to keep up. So, and then
they open the letter and then they go to dinner 3 days later, or they're with the family or standing around saying, you want to sell Grandpa's 40 or, for this? Because this,
exactly. Totally. Katrina asked, data scrubbing questions. 1, when downloading the data from RealQuest, Is the data A, still free to download? And B, if so, does the free download include the county assessed property value? You should have access to everything, Katrina. If it does not, how do you go about determining the bottom 20% as outlined in the newsletter last week? Okay.
That's a real good question. The data is not free from real class.
It's not free. No, you have access for free.
Yeah.
And then when you pull up the records and you say I'm staring at 5,000 records, that's still free. You can see some of it, but when you push the button to do the actual download, now you're paying 8 cents a record. So
peruse for free.
Peruse for free.
When it's on your hard drive, you paid for it.
Yeah, in that report now you have a report generated, that's 8 cents.
So here's the question.
And
here's what I think you're asking. Well, I don't want all this data. I just want the bottom 20%. So what you need to do is spend a bunch of time. If this is really important to you, I'm coming off this now because I'm not explaining it very well, but I would highly recommend that you just download it all. Because here's the thing. 5 or 8 cents a record, let's say 8 cents a record, it's way cheaper than 49 cents. Spend some money on the data and then make sure that the mail that you send out is the amount of mail that you want to send out. So you can peruse it and sit there for a couple hours and kind of gauge where the top is and the bottom and do the 20% thing like we exposed. But once it downloads, you're paying for it. And if you add it up, it's silly cheap. You're never going to download the exact amount of records that you send mail to. You're always going to say, oh, I got to scrub that out. I've got to scrub that out. I'll tell you what I do at this point, and I always have. I download it all. Luke Smith does, and most of the other people that are really turning some deals, they don't horse around with that. They download all the 5-acre properties in the data set. They get it into Excel and really do some scrubbing. And then you might scrub about 50%. I'll tell you what happens. I just had a call with somebody. This is what happened to them. They had a very successful mailer doing that. They downloaded all the data. So all the 5-acre properties, they chose the bottom 40%, sent it out, worked great. They got what they wanted. And so they decided to reprice the top 60%, really sophisticated manner, and send those out too. So they're buying this 5-acre properties in the same county. They're paying $100 an acre. Now they're doing it 200, 300, 400, and still turning money on it. So data never really goes to waste, in my opinion.
I agree. And spending an extra 100 or so ahead of time with extra records is never bad. So that's when you want to do it. So it's good. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, yes, one of your parameters, when you sit there and click and like, if you've not spent a lot of time in chapter 5, Katrina, you should. And it's going to answer all these questions, by the way, because in chapter 5 is when Jack goes into great detail and you're going to see where the assessed value is. Yes, you can put a limit and you want to put, in your improved percentage of 0. So, you're getting just land. So I don't know if you've got that far, but the answer is yes, you can cap all that. So
I filmed chapter 5. You'll notice that Jill is not present in chapter 5 at all because I filmed it when she was not there because
I hid.
So I think you're out of town.
Actually, no, that was a long process.
Chapter 5
I
took
hid
longer than all the rest of the chapters.
Yeah. That's good. And she says a follow-up. Since releasing the video, have you added any other data scrubbing criteria besides the proven percentage land value, lot acreage, and land use? Do you use any scrubbing against owner demographics? This is interesting, like years of ownership, in-state, out-of-state, and age. I'm glad you're asking this, and the answer is
no. Yeah. And here's why. Those are all things that are, in my opinion, very important if you're buying houses and meaningless with land. So like we said earlier, all those situations, they still don't scrub out the thing you're looking for, which is something just happened. I need some money. I just got a letter. I'm going to sell my property to get some money.
Exactly.
That's what you're looking for. So in-state, out-of-state, it doesn't.
Age, their income level.
Everybody should get a letter.
I've bought property from every possible thing you can think of. So you don't get hung up on those details. You might miss some people. Some good people.
What you're trying to do in the end is save like $100, like Jill said. Wouldn't you rather just send it out?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I made a huge mistake in a mailer one time, massive mistake, and I sent it to like the top 20% with like the same same lower pricing, and bought properties that we made way more on. So, yeah.
Exactly. And just and you know what too, you might goof up on your first mailer. That's going to happen. You know, like Jack said, we've made mistakes. Get it out there, and when it comes back, you'll learn, and you're going to go, all right, I'm going to redo this, and oh wow, my letter didn't include any of my whatever information. It's, you know, you'll figure it out. It's okay. So Michael has a question. Michael Alon, how do you use Title Pro to inspect the chain of title, make sure it's clear like a title company? It's super. You could go, I'm trying to think exactly how to describe it, but within Title Pro, when you go in and do your, when you go and pull, one easy way is to pull like the property details, the property report, and it gives you like a 6-page document. You can see purchase price and the history and the names, and if it was a quick claim or the type of deed that was transferred and the dates and all that. That's usually how I do it. Is do it that way. So, but I'm sure there's other easier ways too. So
it all starts with the APN. And then the first step is to match the person that you're talking to who owns the property with the vesting deed, which is the deed right before the one you're going to get. If that matches up, that's like 80% of everything that a title agent would ever do. Right. And then to go further back, get in there and really take a look at it. It's impossible to explain in this with a small amount of time, and we've already lost Jill.
Yeah. Well, no, I was going to say, silly. My understanding is that most title companies and title agencies, they're insuring like the last 30 years. I want to say 30 to 40 years. I don't know this for sure, so don't quote me on this.
I agree. Oh, no, that's for sure.
So when
any further back than that.
Right. So when I'm looking at a property, it's been the family for 25 years or something like that, I'm feeling pretty good about it. No one's built on it. No one's done anything with it. I feel really good that nothing crazy is going to pop up later on. If, you know, grandpa's owned it that long, and it happens all the time. They were going to retire there and they never did. So there you go. All right. We have a thing about vacation lots.
What's everybody think about this Zoom thing? I'm digging it. I hope you can just type in yes or no, or it sucks, or hope you guys never get in front of a camera again, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Okay,
love it. Thank you. All right, good. We eventually, what do you guys think if we said turn on your video? Would we want to see each other?
Can do that, or turn on the audio. You know,
that's true.
We're going to take baby steps here, but maybe next week we can take audio questions. I think we can get a lot more done.
That'd be hilarious. Thank you. That's what David said. I better get dressed.
We had to dress up for this too.
Yeah, audio would be faster. I put lipstick on.
You still got slippers on.
Oh my gosh, I have slippers on. Okay.
Pants, but slippers.
That's right. We're not going to tell what you're wearing here. Just kidding. All right. Let's see.
I want to answer this.
Andrew Peacocks. Okay. Can you explain how you price your offers for vacation lots? Is it still the bottom 20% of assessed value and 20 to 25% of the cheapest property, or do you offer more because it's a desirable location? For example, if the bottom 20% of assessed value is $20,000 for a 0.5 acre lots, and the cheapest lot around is $7,000, should I still offer, 20%, so like $1,400, or increase it to offer around 35%, like $2,450?
Okay, Andrew, you nailed it. Thank you so much. If you're still struggling with the 20%, please, what he said here is perfect. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Mm-hmm. So at the end of your scrub and your research and the whole thing, you're going to decide if you want to stick with that 20%, which in your case is a $1,400, or if you want to kick it up a little bit to 35 or 40%. When we do the vacation lot scenarios, I kick it up to 50% sometimes because the demand's so high. Mm-hmm. Rural acreage, the sales demand is not half as high as, a property that's 40% of the lowest priced property, where there's people buying and selling all the time in a vacation lot infill scenarios. So this is well written, and I thank you very much. Yeah. The answer is we go higher. I stick around 40 to 50% for vacation lots.
Cool. All right. Luke said, which is right. Yeah. In CoreLogic, you can query the data before paying for it, like check the number of records and do another query, which is great because you can see like, oh, I only came up with 300. Well, I need more than that. I'm not going to download that. I need to change my parameters or something.
Or add a county.
Yeah.
The answer is add another county.
Right. There you go. Or different size.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or increase your size.
Size. Yeah. Michael said, thank you, Michael. This is the best group. Love it. John says, the positives about negotiating is I have made so many contacts and sellers through sellers.
Perfect.
And they have a lot of land they want to sell.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, you know what? If you want to negotiate, I'm just kidding.
I agree. Everybody does this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's it. And you know what? It's really up to you. I mean, it just, sometimes for us, you have to, I mean, I'm sure we've all experienced this. Sometimes you can negotiate with the wrong people and you go, doggone it, I just wasted a week with this guy who wasn't really going to buy anyway. But there was some people that it was worth it. So, you never know. We up our numbers. What we do is we up our numbers so we don't need to negotiate, but you can do it either way.
I spoke with a member yesterday, and he's purchasing 3 properties from a woman in her 80s, and now they call each other every day just to see how they're doing. So, and they didn't negotiate price.
Yeah.
But he just stuck with her.
Yeah.
And sometimes she wants to talk, and so you can pick. My point is, you can pick up and generate lists that way without giving up on price.
Mm-hmm. Katrina asks about the new printing company and when it's going to be up and running for us, and window or non-window. It's window, isn't it?
Window.
Yeah. So, and do we have a date when we can flip that switch?
Some people are already using it, and it's passed all the tests. It's soon. I just have to sit down. I have to talk. David and I have one more round of the way you log in needs to change. So it's very, very soon. Days away.
Okay. Oh, thank you, David. David, way on the other side of the world, said this is much better than WebEx.
That's a great test.
So thank you. I'm glad.
Change is hard. It's. I have to say it. This change all but kicked our staff's ass.
Mm-hmm. Because you did. Oh, I'm waiting. Do we have any private comments? No, she didn't say anything. All right, it's coming. We're going to hear about that one later.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Peterson said, I haven't worked in Nevada before, but I picked up 40 acres there in a package deal that I did with a seller. Almost all the folks that wanted owner financing. Is there anything I should know about owner financing in Nevada? Rules, regulations, etc.
Well, Matt, if there is something you should know about owner financing in Nevada, it's in the statutes. I don't know. Honestly, I think Nevada is incredibly liberal about that, but it's all the statutes. Or some of our members they stop asking that question altogether and they just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I love it. I'm sorry, we just got a little update from our producer that totally agreed with what we said.
No, she said, I can't even deny that. Ha ha. Learning new software kicks my ass.
No.
Don't say this out loud.
But she did. No, but I will say she added, I didn't even tell you guys about all the yelling she did to their support team. That's nice.
That's exactly how it should be. If you have a problem with RealQuest, call them and tell them about that extensively.
We're going to get this done.
Call and scream about it if you'd like. But don't call us.
Love it. All right. Let's see.
Moon Clerk.
Are we in the Moon Clerk? We have some. Yep. Main guy at Moon Clerk is asking how he can make Moon Clerk better to get more land dealers as clients.
Oh, thanks.
Huh. Interesting. Thank you for answering the question. You're welcome.
I'll pursue that.
Yep. Good. Moon Clerk's been really easy for people to add a buy it now button to my website. Awesome.
That's a great. Thank you. I will follow up.
Yeah. Good. Joel said, I got my first call in the mailer about 8 minutes before the call started. Not interested. They paid $5,000 for the land in Colorado 20 years ago. He said he's planning on growing weed on the land. So he was just pretty much calling to tell you thanks for the offer, but no thanks.
If he was really stoned, he couldn't even form that sentence.
True. I love it.
ACH too on one click. That's great.
Okay. Maybe get a group discount on that. You seeing that?
Yeah, I'm not definitely pursue that.
Isn't that automated clearinghouse? Yeah. There we go. ACH. Okay. Thank you.
It avoids credit card fees.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is all good stuff.
Yeah,
I know you're I know you're working on this.
We're stuck doing this on video. You got to put makeup on Thursday now.
I do. What are you talking about? I do every day. You're so silly. All right. Okay. The second webinar, but my very first question. Hey, Jordan. So I know we're supposed to avoid back tax properties because they're more complicated for beginners, or just in general, I don't like them, Jordan.
Yeah, we're like 2 decades into this, and we avoid them too.
Yeah, we never do them, not even beginning or pro. But the course officer recommends targeting counties with a lot of back tax property, which is a gauge. Yes, being the case, aren't we likely to encounter many such properties? Is there any way to avoid these before mailing to them? Thanks.
Yes, there is a way to avoid them. It's incredibly complicated. It involves getting an APN list from the county of back tax properties in a downloadable format. Oh, we already lost Jill.
Yep.
Then you get an APN list of the ones that you want to mail. Then you run it through all kinds of duplicate. There's a million ways to check for duplicate scenarios, and you pull them out. Is it worth it? No. Are you going to send a few properties to back tax owners, and are they going to call you or sign them and send them back? Yeah, and go through the motions, and sometimes we buy them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not complicated at all. But I'm saying my whole point is, don't go through any of that. But don't just trust me. Don't just send it to
you don't want to isolate them out and only mail to them, and you don't want to weed them out and ignore them. You just want to keep them in the group.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I buy things on back tax properties.
All the time,
totally fine. The only point is you just want to know. So you're just going to do your homework, and if you haven't done it before, download my checklist in the program, which with all those questions that you ask, and one of them is, hey, where do you stand on your taxes? And then you go double check it and do your homework. And just so you know, okay, well, I was going to offer you, 600, but since you owe 200 in back taxes, how about you don't catch it up? I'll catch it up, and I'll pay you 500, and it's going to work out great.
I don't want to do that on every deal,
but
it's so much easier just to get a signed purchase agreement back.
But I mean, even on those, they may have back taxes, and you may.
Yeah, but you got to check. But the vast majority that you're going to get back our way have no issues at all.
Exactly.
So it becomes the exception, not the rule.
That's it. It is the exception. But then that's how you could work with them, because you don't throw them out. They still might be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chuck asks, should we be showing our company name on our mailers, such as in the windowed envelopes from letterstream.com? i.e., like hiding our company name would possibly cause more curiosity to open it?
Yeah, I wrote a blog about this a long time ago, and we tested this over the years. In a blank envelope, this is what we still send out. A blank envelope, you're always going to open it. I mean, I know when I get mail, it's just to me or a company or one of the companies that owns these properties, I open it immediately. But if it says, oil and gas XYZ or American Express, I'm way more apt to not open it and do something else. So stick with the blank envelope.
Yeah. I'm not skipping you here, Luke, but yeah, Jack's working on making the official green light and opening the floodgates with the new printer, and that's coming here soon, and we'll have updates. And when we do,
we're one conversation away from that.
Keep an eye on the message board. You'll see it in the message board, and you'll see it in the newsletter when it's ready.
Yeah.
So we could, what? Actually, there'll be an email blast anyway from our team. I know, because you'll need all the login instructions. So watch your email. So,
yeah.
Kathleen asks, hi, Kathleen. So on my no access side of a Mesa, political notary, this is so funny, 40-acre parcel. This is so good. The neighbor this has been an ongoing saga. It's like a little bit of a sitcom.
This is what you get for learning about the property you're purchasing.
Yes. our little daytime soap opera thing, no. She said, the neighbor who owns the 440 acres surrounding my lonely 40 acres stuck in the middle had a bit of a mental breakdown and was slamming on me on my Facebook page because my pictures of the view, how did he even find this? Overlooked his land, is now a buyer for my lonely 40 acres.
It's going to pay off.
So
nice.
He freaked out, slammed her. All the stuff went bad. Now she bought it for $4,000. She's selling it for $11,000. Hate is not always bad. And now he wants it. Isn't that funny? Sometimes those people that raise the biggest stink are the ones that I'm like, okay, what the heck? Yay, Kathleen.
Except when you're married to him.
What? You are silly. All right. Albert Garcia asks, I have a seller who wants to sell me 20 acres for $20,000.
2,000.
Or 2,000, excuse me. Can I send him an email with the warranty deed and have him drive it to UPS store for notarizing? And then when he mails it back to me and I record it successfully, send him a cashier's check? There aren't any good notaries in the area.
If he says yes to that, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I guess at the end, you could decide whether or not you're actually going to
mail a check. So
we don't do business that way. I personally would not do that at all. It's too easy for that to hit the evening news, as a scam.
Like he turns it around or something. Yeah. That's a tough one. So, I mean, Michael asks, when you prepare the deed, do you sign the deed with the notary as well? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, when I'm selling it, yes. Is that's your, yes. So when we're doing our own deeds to sell a property, it always has to be notarized. So the answer is yes. It's signed, notarized, ready to go in the mail to them. And I try to, here's a little something that I do. I want to share too. I put it in a manila envelope. I have all the stuff that comes out with the deed perfect in there, the recording instructions on our cover letter. I'll even put a little handwritten note in there. Gosh, thank you so much. And I put it in a regular letter size. I don't fold it up and put a stamp on it and just pop it in the mail. And I do the $5 tracking. So for $5, they're excited. They can see the tracking. They know it, and they open it up, and it looks fancy. And it's a little something that at the end of the day, they feel really good about this transaction because they're spending some money here. So that always makes me, it's like when you get something from Amazon, you don't want it retaped up. But when it comes in a nice fancy box, you just feel good about it.
Fancy.
So, like it's not a reused box with they blacked out the last person on it and they forwarded onto you. You don't want that. It's just something. Okay. Joel asks, my order through Letter Proof came through on the 12th. I got my first call today.
Yeah.
Yay. What's today? And today's the 19th.
Okay. That's good.
All right. This is awesome. This is going to speed everything up for everybody. Yeah. Andrews.
I hope everyone understands that. It increases the cycles you can jam into a year.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of questions to catch up on here. Andrew said, can you explain how you price offers? Oh, we did that one. The vacation lots. Okay.
It's not private this time.
Awesome. Chuck asked, should we now use our LLC name on our mailers versus only showing our website name, thus possibly avoiding tarnishing our good LLC on the internet? I asked because the LandCam example mailer only shows landstay.com everywhere, no references to an LLC and next to Jack's signature.
Yeah. This is totally personal preference. Mm-hmm. I think you should use your own personal name as much as you can. And then use the name that's most public. Mm-hmm. And I think for a lot of reasons, our LLC names are not the same as our .com names for a reason.
Mm-hmm. I look at it like this too. Where do I want to drive traffic to? I don't want to drive them to my LLC and find me and track me down that way. I want to drive them to my website. And by the way, while they're there, they're going to see the other properties that are for sale.
That's right.
So that's what I do. David, you did not miss anything. We were going to send out something last week, and there's one more phone call that's coming. So that's why you didn't get anything yet on LetterStream. So sit tight, and Jack and his team is working on it.
It's my fault.
So it's going. Yes, we did promise that. So, and you did nothing wrong. All right.
I mean, in all seriousness, I know that you want to get the stuff out, and we want that too. So There's just one last thing that David and I, the owner of Lettering, have to work out, and it's how you log in. It's really not for us. He and I, the thing's all done and it works and everybody's happy. We don't want you to use a coupon code because the whole world can figure out what the codes are. We're going to assign you some very specific username. It'd actually be the same username as you have for RealQuest. And ultimately, you will get a dashboard. We can just do it all right from there. So if it was just like, if we weren't concerned about making this is like step 3 of 10. I know it just seems like this is it, and why don't you just do it? I'm paraphrasing Jill. There's just more stuff involved in that. So I'm taking it very seriously.
This is good. This is so good. This is really how it is around the office too, by the way. I'm like, do we really have to why can't we just set it out there? We'll figure it out. It's all right. We got this. All right.
Put some tape on it.
I've come 180. I used to not be the tape person. Now I'm like, yeah, whatever, it works. Okay. Thank you, Tim. Tim Flood said it just went out and smooth process. So awesome. Michael Alon asks, when optioning, are you selling the option? Oh, very good question. When optioning, are you selling the option to the new buyer and having them close with the seller, or are you executing the option, buying, recording, and then selling again? And it's actually B. You are correct. It's B.
You do not want to do A. There's a bunch of legal ramifications and stuff.
And things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
You want to...
You need your name in the chain of title, albeit for 30 seconds, but you need it.
And you could do it so fast, Michael, that by the time your buyer pays you, you pay the seller. It's all happening at the same time. You know, you could be sending in those 2 deeds on the same day to be recorded, and you just put a sticky note to the recorder saying, hi, please record this one first, and then record this one second. And you can put them right in the same envelope. And I would do that. If they're going out the same day.
How we do it.
Do it in the same envelope, and they're going to go, okay, this is weird, but from John Smith to, Michael's Land, and then from Michael's Land to Bob Jones. Okay. So, and they'll do it.
If you don't do it that way, it could be construed that you're representing the buyer without a license. And for whatever reason, it's a huge fine and there's cease and desist. You can never buy assets again. It's just a big real estate agent kind of thing.
Exactly.
And even if you are licensed, then you didn't do it right. You didn't disclose the right stuff. It makes our way makes you an owner.
Right.
You're not subject to all this stuff.
That's it. Exactly. Albert asked, when I'm buying property, should I put my home address on the warranty deed or my P.O. box? I would not put my home address.
Yeah.
And it's all personal preference, though, again. So
depends on what your goal is.
This is... What might that
Maybe
be?
He wants people to come to his house.
Luke Smith did that.
Yeah, if you have questions about anything, and you happen to be in the greater Los Angeles area, stop by our house, knock on the door. Spend some time.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Don't even call.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, we'll leave the door open.
Yeah. On the flip side, there's a lovely couple in actually the Irvine area that we have a standing invitation to lunch anytime we want, that I bought property from really cheap. And we seriously, remember that guy?
No,
he does that so nice. Literally, he and his wife want to take us to lunch just because they like us. All right. So Katrina asks, do you recommend outsourcing? Yeah, I have some stuff on this. Do you recommend outsourcing the initial incoming call from sellers to a service like Pat Live if you're currently working full-time and you want the call answered live?
Yes.
Do we differ on that? We differ on that.
You should use Pat Live. I have never used Pat Live. But
I just made a face.
That's it? Oh, really? You think so?
It's not my favorite thing, though. I mean...
We answer the phone.
Yeah, I know, but
It's a full-time job.
Well, I know, but other people are doing it. You know what? I would love to hear what other people are saying.
They all say yes. Everybody I talk to says great. Luke uses it.
Oh, okay.
We are going to provide a service.
Okay.
At some point in the future. And our service will be better. In the meantime, use Pat Live.
Okay.
I think the percentages and all. The thing is, you have to do scripts.
We don't have a missed call. I guess that's true. You're always going to capture that information. How about this? Here's my only questioning, Katrina, is if you use a service like that, I wouldn't want them getting too much into it. I would like it more like the owner's going to call you back. When are you available? Getting all the details. Great. I'm going to have Katrina call you back.
To use Pat Live, you have to submit scripts.
Okay, good.
And so that would be your way of submitting a script that says the owner's not here, and they will call you after.
Absolutely. Gosh, we're
well,
definitely.
People, I test called Luke's, and I had a nice long talk a couple times. So he's scripted out.
Perfect.
He uses them to weed out the hate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Then good. So good. All right. Getting past our Zoom stuff here. David, is the membership capped yet? Well, you know what? If I talk to more people like I did yesterday.
She almost capped it yesterday.
I almost said, and we're done. It's like, mic drop. So, I couldn't. Oh my gosh, that guy really rubbed me the wrong way. So anyway,
no, we're not capped.
No,
yet.
It's not capped yet, but we're getting really close. And I'll tell you, David, we're getting so close that we have such a good group now, and we're probably going to raise the membership again, because I want to make sure that the last people we get in are the right people. I might have an interview thing. I don't know. Most people are talking to me, ahead of time, so I can weed them out. You know what? When we started this, it was all new. This environment was new, and look at the people that we have on this call, and look at the questions that we're answering, and this is all good stuff. Gosh, and so we're making sure that the people that come into our world are going to fit right into this, and they're going to bring some good deals to the table for all of us. It's all going to be good. Right. So on that, so thank you.
Like drop.
Albert asks, when buying, do you use a warranty deed or a special warranty deed? I try to use a warranty deed.
You buy in a warranty deed and sell in a special warranty deed. Mm-hmm. If you have any more questions about that, and it's a very good question, type it into Success Plant and people will answer.
This is the coolest comment. Thank you, David, for sharing this. He said he's in Israel. FYI, I'm working with 13 tabs open, surfing Moon Clerk, checking Facebook, Twitter, and emails, and listening to you with perfect clarity from across the ocean. Okay, so I am so glad to hear that.
The software pain change was worth it. Good.
Totally.
We're still not using it right, because I will use it to we were planning on using this venue for a bunch of things. Let's do a mailer together entirely from start to finish. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. So we couldn't do that with Citrix, with WebEx.
WebEx, exactly. Jack, so you were saying send mailers with no return address, or just take off the company name and use return address only?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question. No, you can have the return address on there. You should.
Okay. Thank you, David. Love
maybe with the LLC Name. It's not going to really, it doesn't matter. I don't think that matters. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Kathleen's comment. She said, love seeing you guys on the call. Jill's, where's your Versace? My pearls and safety pins.
Yeah. Remember that punk thing we were supposed to go to?
Yeah. Yep. All right. I'll work on that. Let's see. Timmy Flood asks, we have a customer asking.
It's Timmy Flood now that he's done a bunch of deals. Used to be Tim Flood.
Yeah.
No, it's Timmy Flood because he's happy.
And then pretty soon it's going to be Timothy Flood to you because he makes too much money now. Yeah. It's going to say Mr. Flood.
Mr. T Flood.
That's what's coming.
Mr. T Flood. Retired.
Right. Exactly. Executive. Yeah. It's going to be the executive assistant for Mr. T Flood ass. T Fizzle. Oh, I love it. So, Sir Flood. Oh, I love it. He said, we have a customer asking if our AZ property is in the grow zone. Yeah. Uh-oh. Is that a marijuana grow area? Yeah. Can we profit from that?
No, it's a marijuana thing for sure. And can you profit from it? That's up to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the grow zone is.
I don't either. That's funny. Tea fizzle. That's so good. All right. Michael Alon asks, I changed my letter to say, oh, I like this. We are a family owned company and take pride on individualized attention and customer satisfaction.
Love it.
Instead of, we've done thousands of these types of transactions.
Love it.
Is this a big mistake? Heck no.
No, it's beautiful.
I love it.
No, I love it.
Oh, that's good. And then Michael, when they get your letter and they can go on your website and look you up and see you and your family and your dog there, then that's all good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think ours says, I don't remember, I'm just going from memory. It says something like, this is our business and it has been for quite some time. And we take your satisfaction and this transaction really seriously. I think if this isn't a silly joke. If you listen to our show, Joe gets miffed about tricking people into signing stuff. You never want to do that. So this is a great step in the direction of completely telling the truth and following through on what you say you're going to do, unless it's me and LetterStream.
Yeah. If you want to see me blow my top, send me a letter for a property that says, hurry, open now. The county's going to take this back unless you act now.
To avoid foreclosure. Yeah, that's not.
That makes me so angry when people do that.
As anything, scaring somebody into doing something. When is that ever? This is wrong.
It's not good, but
I can tell you're going to get blown.
That makes me mad. That's just not cool. So yeah.
Laughing.
Okay, thank you. Zoom is a lot better quality. Thank you. Okay. Is there a limit to the number of names you can put on a deed? Have a group of friends that all want to buy our property together.
No, there's no limit.
No? Yeah. And you could have, by the way, a name and an LLC and it doesn't have to be all individuals too. You can have a bunch of different things and just, you want to say, however they're taking title.
Yeah, joint tenants and the whole thing. I mean, the more people involved in anything, the more complicated it is.
Exactly. If you do tenants in common, you just look up because they all mean different things. So
if you want to go sell it though, if you title it wrong, you got to get everybody's signature again. So just do some research before you do that.
Well, they want to buy a property together. He's selling it to them. So we're
yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes. You know what I would do though in that situation too, Matt, though? That's a good thing. One of the things I try to do is I try to help people out and I try to inform them like that. Silly. I do it with you every day. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You put my socks on for me all the time.
Just kidding.
You can't reach that far down.
Silly. No, but I really do try to help them out because I would say, now, by the way, John, who you're working with, if we put 25 people on this, you realize when you won't go to sell, all 25 people are going to need to show up and sign this. And he might go, I'm going to go talk to these folks here. So, okay. If AG just legalized, would there even be designated zones for this yet? The legislature's yet to come on the issue, convene on the issue, right?
There's a lot of people that know a lot of things about pot.
This is true. That's so funny.
I don't know.
I know. That's a good one. Thank you, Jean. I honestly don't know. It's how much we don't pay attention to this. You know what? Here's one of our things. This still happens all the time. We're going to double our money and get out. And we have had people that have called us back to thank us, and some we don't thank us. We just have found out later on, but they have turned around and made so much more money than we did that they almost feel a little bit guilty, I think. But
they want to repeat it.
Yeah, or that too. But I'm like, hey, that thing I bought for you for $4,000, I sold for $40,000. You know what? Good for you. That's okay. I was happy with my $4,000.
I actually haven't told this story in a long time. I'm not sure if I ever told it on the air. I think I have. I sold a 40 or an 80 acre property in Southern California a lot of years ago. And a guy bought it for me for whatever, 20 grand, 30 grand. I bought it for the same numbers we always do, 8 to 10 or 12. And he put an airport on it. Like he sold it, so he put an airport on it. The guy made millions. So and he called me years later. He had a private investigator and found my number and the whole thing. And he just called and thanked me. Like, I was at an art show with you. I'll never forget it. Remember that big white tent?
Oh, I do.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel bad.
Yep. I got a terms. Eco says, I got a terms purchase deal. The buyer wants to put a well and buy water rights.
Yeah.
Since I'm holding the deed until the final payment is made, my question is, how do I accommodate the buyer? A notarized letter granting permission.
Right. Well, there's two questions in this. When you sell a piece of property to think of a mortgage. When you sell a piece of property on terms, it's just like a mortgage company. Um, they let you move into the house and put a new roof on if you want. They don't even know that you're doing it. It's the same thing here. So if he wants to put a well on it and all that stuff and purchase water rights, I guess he's not going to purchase them from you, whether you own it or not. All he's doing is improving really what's your property. So tell him to knock himself out. Do whatever he wants to it. I hope he builds a Taj Mahal. If you have to take it back, you get the Taj Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, do a notarized letter granting permission? I think that's overkill. You could, but I mean, he owns it. He technically owns a property. He can do whatever he wants within reason. Exactly. Your contract, like ours, probably says you can't devalue the property. So you can't put a meth lab on it or dump a bunch of raw sewage. But if you're going to improve it and make it more valuable, go for it.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, too, Eco, with this is like, it's like I have a terms property and they're building a cabin out there. Great. That means they're in, man. They're going to keep making their payments. They're not going anywhere. They're going to pay this off. They want it. So if he's going to do that, he's not going anywhere. And that's a good thing. So Brian Jentz says, quick newbie question. I'm looking to start with direct mailings. Yes, but a question. In all the other research I've done on direct mail, from house flippers, etc., they always say that a campaign should be at least a half a dozen mailings to the same address, spaced out about a month apart, using a different mailing each time. Wondering about what you recommend with your program. That's all you.
I hear this all the time, and I personally I've done this one time with great success. You send out the mailer that we all send out, and then you send out a postcard afterward that says, hey, I sent you an offer. Maybe you didn't get it, or I'm just checking in because I'm still really interested. But our numbers are so strong that we've never gone any further than that. So for house people, they have to send thousands of properties, 2,000 or 3,000 letters out. Let's just say 2,000 to buy a house, which still the numbers are fantastic on that. So I know they teach that, and I am very skeptical about, are they getting a kickback from the mailing guy? Or, we don't have to do that. If our numbers weren't as good, like if we weren't yielding 1% acquisition or 1 to 5% is what we get, then I would say, let's try something new. I don't think it's necessary. Mm-hmm. Would it enhance our numbers even better? Probably.
Right.
I also think, you'd have to keep real good track of the hate, make sure they don't get letters again.
That's true too. Yeah.
I've never, with the exception of the thing that I just test, I've never sent the same county twice in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Michael Alon asked, question. We're going to keep going here. Whoa, it's 3:15. We're way over. But if you guys are cool, we're going to go a few more questions.
The newsletter's not getting done today. Because we have a meeting in 45 minutes, and that we can't miss.
Are you announcing that we're not going to have a newsletter out today? It might come out tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we can't miss this meeting.
Okay. All right. It's a good one, I promise.
And it's all because we went over it. So it's not that we're bad. It's just that we're helping in a different way.
Deal. All right. So everyone's newsletter tomorrow. I apologize. Okay. So is it important to use a local phone number and address on the mailing? I don't think it makes a difference at all, Michael.
I don't either.
Michael Alon, no. Nowadays, it's so nice with our cell phones. It used to phase you when someone had a cell phone and they're in a different city. Like, what's that number? Now we're all so used to, we all have our cell numbers from 3 states ago. It doesn't matter anymore because charges aren't any different. So it doesn't.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. And I know this from experience is use an 800 number. I think that's old school. Everybody's got, I think area codes are meaningless.
I agree.
In fact, I read something recently that said that phone numbers themselves are really actually going to go away.
Yeah.
You're just going to call Jack Butella.
Exactly. Thank you.
It's like a website address. You buy the domain. What you're buying is a number. There's really a number behind it. Google.com. There's a number behind it. So there's a phone number behind Jill DeWitt. We just started with the phone number for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Joel says I'm still not going to use my local Japan number.
Yeah, it's like 92 numbers.
Hi, call me right now at 013
667 555 82 61 997 95.
Could you? Oh my gosh, that would be so good. Oh, I dare you to. There we go.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, Joel, that's so good. I love it. Okay. Brian Jens said, okay, wait. We covered that one. If Breaking Bad taught me anything, it's that oh, this is good. Thank you, Joel. If Breaking Bad taught me anything, it's that meth labs are valuable.
There's a bobblehead of Heisenberg on my desk right now.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
If it was on this desk, I would put it.
It's not on this desk. Chuck says, could you please clarify how often you remail offers to the same sellers? Like, we don't.
Never.
No. I mean, it's something that we tested, or you would. Did you do
I tested it once.
The postcard thing? But you know what, Chuck? We don't need to. You know, we haven't.
Here's why. Let's say you mail, I'm just picking anything out of the sky here. You send a letter to every single 5-acre property owner in all of Arizona, right? And you get a huge response, and it's awesome. You know, would you like to enhance that response to get more 5-acre properties in Arizona? Would you like to try it in Colorado? Because the more diverse, once you own a bunch of property, you're going to realize this. Sometimes it's really easy to buy 10,000 properties in one subdivision. Joe and I have done it. It takes years to sell that. But if you buy 10,000 properties all over the country at the same time, it takes you the same amount of time as it takes 3 or 4 weeks to sell the whole thing. So by remailing the same areas over and over again, it's going to work. You're going to get a bunch of properties. But you don't want that many properties in one area. Eventually, the universe is not as big as it is for houses from a buyer standpoint. So getting a ton of property in one area can be a problem.
Exactly.
It's not that it's inefficient.
Right. Eco asks, back to my question, don't they have to verify the county recorded deed for water rights?
Yeah. Water rights are very complicated.
Yeah.
In this day and age, they almost never are tied to the deed the way that, the same way mineral rights or surface rights. We get surface rights, but mineral rights are usually not tied to the deed either, especially out west.
Nope. Okay, Brian.
You know what can I say this one thing?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
When we start talking about this stuff like this, like let's say I'm just thinking out loud that there's an oil gas rig and it's leased on this property. And the eighth of a second, when you think about that, it seems like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest thing ever. Not only do I have a piece of vacant land, I've got an oil gas thing that's functioning. It's an income stream now. You know what that's going to do, really? I mean, honestly, it's going to screw up your land deal. It would just be easier to stick to the model, buy the piece of property and sell the piece of property and then go on to the next thing. When you start thinking and talking about oil rights and water rights and mineral rights, it stops you from going on to the next deal and just making the machine work. They're beautiful things to talk about and learn about, but that's really just not our business model.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to have to wrap it up here. So I'm going to whip through these last few questions. So we got it.
It's Joel's way of saying, please don't answer like that any longer.
Okay, you are silly. Brian Jens asked, some of these that, just so you know, there's at the bottom, when you put put all, try to put everyone so we can all see them. So I'm reading some questions that not everybody can see. They just came in privately. So if I can get a second question in, yes. In evaluating counties to consider sending offers, do you include information of economic growth, expansion, or decline? And if so, how would you research that? Evaluating counties. Oh.
No.
Yeah.
The best way to answer that question, the best way to do that is to dig deep into the census tract. The census does a bang up job in rating neighborhoods right down to the census tract, which is like a neighborhood. It's even down to a block in a neighborhood, and an A, B, C, or D based on economic whatever. So, and it's hard to get, but it's free. You got to dig through the site, and if you start mailing stuff out based on census tract and get that detailed about it, and you're into that kind of thing, you're going to knock it out of this park in this business. That's a great question, and it's way beyond. I personally love this kind of stuff, but it's beyond the scope of this call.
Thank you. Michael said, this is why is social media so important? I have a seller and a buyer website and a Facebook page. Do I need more? Gosh, Michael, I tell you, I would.
I'm going to answer that, but just read the next question. 1 second. I'm going to show you on the screen.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I have some Heisenberg comments. Heisenberg is a major buyer. Heisenberg needs the Crystal Palace or the Crystal Ship to be complete.
My gosh.
I know. Katrina said, with the new printing company, can we set up a shipping schedule? Can you set up a shipping schedule so they go out on a timeline?
Yeah, so what she's asking is, can I do a 10,000 unit mailer and have it released once a week, like 150 of them? The answer is yes.
Cool.
It may not be the exact price we're talking about, but yes.
And does the new printing company use the mail deliverable software?
Oh my gosh, yes. They use the best stuff available.
Deliverability, oh yeah. Oh, as far as the sorting and they'll kick back stuff with undeliverable addresses and put them in the right order so they go out really fast.
You only pay for
absolutely
what gets delivered.
Oh, this is why, okay. Wait do you see, Michael? This is one of the reasons why I want you to have all your social media set up here.
Jill, if there's any more questions you'd like to go ahead, because I'm
that's it. Let's leave it on this.
Okay, please take a look at your screen.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jill.
It's okay.
Whoever's got the most recent property posted, I'm going to promote the heck out of it. Okay, a 0.85 acre building lot.
All right, who's Justin Holm? Is Justin on this call? I don't know.
So he posted his property on LandPin, which you all can do immediately if you'd like. And any of us, me, Jill, or our staff, can go down to the bottom here, click Facebook, or any of them, and when it's all connected, now we got a beautiful picture and the whole thing. I can post it to my own timeline. You can post it to a group, like by, let's say,
real estate, Utah, or
let's say vacant land. There's a million little groups. Vacant land in Arizona. Vacant land for sale. And hit post. There's no rule that I'm aware of that stops you as whoever owns this property is you have all your social media set up and it's set it up in here. You should bang the heck out of this every day until the property's sold.
Yep.
Now you're marketing for free, by the way, 100% free. Marketing to people who are advertising to the world that they buy vacant property. I mean, I don't know what's better than that. There's nothing more cost effective. That's why why we set this up. LandWatch doesn't do anything like this. Nothing. Land and Farm, it's even worse. So, we should do a whole call on this.
We should do a social media thing.
And then, by the way, when you go to Facebook,
pick me.
When you go to Facebook and actually see the posting, you can click on it and it takes it right back to this posting so that you can email, who's the owner?
Justin Holm.
Justin, it goes right back to him with an offer. So we're about to, right here, actually, here's Justin's website and you can email him or call him.
Yep.
The next button that's going on here is check out now and make an offer. So the buyer will potentially be able to make an offer. Not that we like to negotiate, but you might. Or they can just check out with a credit card scenario. So that's all coming. It's not, you can't do it now like Joe wants.
Yep.
All right, that's it, right?
All right, good.
Yeah, do the social media thing.
Yep, totally. All right, thank you. Perfect. And then Aaron got an answer to Anwar, so that's perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much. I hope you all liked the new format, and we might be sitting in a different location next week as we do this. So this will be fun. So have a great Have a great week. Would offer with a warning that buy it now will trump that. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, buy it now. Buy it now or make an offer.
Yep. I love it. So
Same time next week. Thanks very much.
yeah.
See you soon.
Thanks.
You'll see us soon.
That's right.